Guys, just like that, I'm back for another Portable Clint. Guys, there's many roads to Hollywood, and we're about to find a different road than we've taken before with this special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, my neighbor, and I'll get to this. I'll get to the second part later. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Susie Castillo. I don't know if I did that right. Say the last name. Castillo.
It's Castillo, Clint.
I know. I've only lived next to you for how long?
It's like 8 years now.
8 years, and I still get it wrong.
I can't.
Okay, listen. First of all, thank you for doing this.
Thank you for having me. I feel very honored. I'm a fan.
Thank you.
Of the Portable Clint show.
Thank
I've
you.
been watching for quite some time, and you have some pretty impressive human beings on the show. So I am.
But you are
honored.
impressive. You are impressive. You've done some really neat things, and I'm very impressed, and I want to tell them about it.
Sure.
Okay, let's start. What were you doing in the year 2001?
2001?
Yes.
I had just graduated college.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know this, but I have a degree in interior architecture and design.
Did not know that.
I've never used, but it was always like my plan B.
Okay.
If my plan A didn't work out. But that's what I was doing in 2001, graduating from college in Massachusetts and figuring out life.
Okay, tell me about 2002. We're going to take baby steps to 2003.
Okay. 2002, I was struggling like you wouldn't believe. So here I was, brand new graduate from college, trying to find a job, and I couldn't find one. Like 9/11 happened the year that I graduated. I graduated college in June of 2001, and then just a few months later, 9/11 happened and our economy tanked.
Yeah.
And I couldn't find a job. So here I was a receptionist / office manager at a country club.
Okay.
In Massachusetts. I was babysitting these 2 little boys in Marblehead, Massachusetts. I was doing like odd modeling and acting jobs in Boston. So struggling. 2002 was a struggle for me.
Okay, so 2003 is coming. What are you saying in 2002? What are you saying about 2003?
I don't know. I honestly didn't know what was going to happen in 2003. All I know is that I always had this big dream of becoming an actor, working in entertainment, but being a young girl from Massachusetts, I was like, how the heck do I get from point A to point B? I knew I had to be here in Los Angeles to make this giant dream come true. And when I couldn't find a job after graduation, I started thinking about, well, maybe I should try this pageant.
And you've never done any pageants before?
I had only done one pageant because, again, I saw all these huge opportunities that would come, to these girls that would win like Miss Teen USA, Miss Universe, Miss America, right? And so I grew up watching pageants, but I never, in my wildest dreams, thought that I would ever compete in one.
Okay.
And I decided to do it for the first time in 2000. I don't even know what year it was. I was 17 years old, and that was the first pageant I did.
Okay.
I won Miss Massachusetts Teen USA.
Okay.
And that qualified me to go to Miss Teen USA.
Okay.
And so I went to Miss Teen USA, and I didn't win, and that's when I went back home to Massachusetts, finished college, and after finishing college and not being able to find a job as a professional with a degree, I was like, well, let me try this pageant thing one more time and see what happens. And at that point, I was 22.
Was there anybody encouraging you, like you should get back out there to do that, or is it just you telling yourself that you should do
It
this?
was just me for the most part. I remember bringing it up to my mom, and she was like, well, I have no idea, but I'll support you and I'll help you. She was always super supportive. Even when I told her I wanted to be an actor too, she was like, okay, again, I don't know, but I'll help you.
Awesome.
So she was great. But no, there was nobody. I just truly saw the opportunities that these girls were having. A lot of them did go on to become actors or television hosts or things like that, and that's what I wanted to do. So I just kind of pursued it. And again, after college, when I didn't do so well at the teen version of the pageant, I decided to go for the Miss.
Okay.
And I won Miss Massachusetts USA, and then went to Miss USA in 2003.
In 2003, you won Miss USA.
I did. Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty dang big right there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is really cool.
Yeah.
Did you get a license plate that said Miss USA 2013?
No.
Okay, I'm just kidding.
I lived in Manhattan for the year. So I didn't need a car.
Okay,
There was
okay.
in fact, I had a Honda Accord that right after it was like this beat up Honda Accord, and when I won Miss USA,
Yeah.
I had my now husband Matt, who you know.
Sure.
We were together back then, and I had Matt sell it to his cousin. And I feel so bad because the freaking car broke down like 2 months after we bought it off.
Okay, you win it.
Yes.
You go home that night.
Yeah.
Is your mind just totally blown that you're Miss USA?
Oh, for sure. It's funny because I actually won in San Antonio, Texas.
That's right, you
Which is-
did.
you're
Yes,
from
yes,
Texas?
yes. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think that was the only time the Miss USA pageant was in Texas, because it hasn't been back, or San Antonio specifically. I don't know if it was somewhere else in Texas, but you actually don't go home. After you win Miss USA, you spend the night wherever you are, or whatever
Okay.
city you're in, and then the next day you fly directly to New York City to start your year.
Really?
Yeah.
What does that mean? I don't want you to have to get in detail of your full year,
Yeah.
but what does that mean to go start your year? Like, what are you going to start to do?
Well, it's a job. So primarily, and this isn't the case anymore, it's kind of evolved a little bit, but back when I was Miss USA, Miss USA's primary job was to be a spokesperson for breast and ovarian cancer awareness. That was like the official cause of Miss
Are they
USA.
giving you the charity that you're going to support?
They do. And so
Okay.
how it's changed now, it's that they encourage girls to kind of bring in their own things that they're passionate
That
about.
makes sense.
Where back then it's like, yeah, you could still work with stuff that you're passionate about, but they really had this breast and ovarian cancer thing like cemented, you know, the
Sure.
Yeah, which was great. I mean, I helped raise like over 30,000.
That's awesome.
Sorry, over 30 million is what I
I
was
was going to
told.
say 30,000.
30,000.
I was like, yeah, that's really neat. Seriously, wow, that's neat. 30 million?
That's a lot, yeah, 30 million. The
That's-
year that I was just, you know, helping to raise awareness and raising funds.
After the year was up, were you done with that job, or
God, yeah.
you were done?
I always tell people, if I could have gotten where I got in my career, like what came after Miss USA, if I could have gotten that without being Miss USA, I would have 100% done that.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this.
As appreciative as I am.
I know you are.
I'm
I know.
so appreciative, so grateful for doing that. But it's just, I grew up as like, I hate to say a tomboy. I wasn't really a tomboy, but I also wasn't like this princess girly girl, you know?
Sure.
So truly wearing this like banner that's a Miss USA and like wearing a crown to events and stuff, it was a weird thing for me, and I was like, what the hell am I doing?
Well, yeah, okay, yeah.
But what came afterwards was really why I did it, and it worked.
Which came afterwards? What?
I mean, the day after I won Miss USA, you sit down and you have this like at this conference table, and you have a pretty much like, let's get to know our new girl with everybody at the Mr. Universe organization. And you have this meeting, and they asked me, they were like, what do you want to do afterwards? We really like to help our title holders, so like, you
Okay.
know, and I said,
That's
I'm so
great.
glad you asked me
Wow,
that.
yeah,
because
yeah.
I'm not here to just, you know, wear a crown on my head for a year. Yes, I want to represent this brand that you guys have, you know, it's like a historic brand that's been around in our country for so long. And I understand that you need, you know, I'm the new girl that's going to represent that brand this year, but I really want to become an actor, and I want to work in entertainment, and I need an agent and a manager. And 2 weeks later, they sat me down with the Willie Morris agency.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and
Wow.
they were my first agent.
That's great. Okay.
It's crazy,
That
right?
is really crazy.
I went from like being an office manager to then Miss USA, and then
I
I
love
was
it.
signed with the Willie Morris agency.
I love that.
That doesn't happen.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's the good thing. What's the first bad thing that you see becoming Miss USA?
The first bad thing?
Well, I guess, okay, well, listen, here's the little things. Did the girls start being mean to you? Were there jealousy amongst other girls?
yeah.
Oh, like, oh, who do we have here? Miss
Oh,
USA.
but that happened like while you were, before I even won, that stuff like that was,
Really?
was going down, yeah. And
But
then,
does it
yeah,
get worse?
It depends, you know. I will say that pageant fans are like the most brutal fans I feel like on the planet, because if they don't like you, they'll let you know. And so
Right.
there's all these like online, you know, online how people are like
Yeah,
trolling
yeah.
and bullying and stuff. And so I did get some of that, you know. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. You know, some people thought there should have been other girls that should have won and over me, which is fine, you know.
That's
they're
going to be with
entitled to
anything.
their-
That's going to be with anything.
Yeah. So yeah, I did get a little bit of hate. But
Okay,
it's all good.
was that the only thing that you could think of? Was there anything else I need to know about?
Yeah, no, I mean, you know, No, it was
Okay,
amazing.
good.
It
Okay.
was so cool. I did a lot of work with like the USO as well, and I represented our country at the Miss Universe pageant.
That's awesome.
I came in the top 15.
Amazing.
Like, what the heck? Like
Yeah.
for a girl that didn't grow up doing pageants but watching them.
Seriously,
it
that
was
is
amazing.
great.
It was just fun. It was a cool experience, but I couldn't wait for it to be over.
Okay, so let's talk about
Because I
the
wanted to move out here.
Okay, so let's talk about the day it was over. What happens the day it's over and there's a new person with
Yeah.
presented the award? Do they like just kind of like thank you for coming?
Yeah.
Really?
Pretty much. Yeah. I remember on my itinerary, my very last itinerary as Miss USA, it said like, final show. The show was at the Kodak Theater
Okay.
in 2004 where I crowned my successor. And there's always an after party after the pageant. And it said, after party at Avalon Club or whatever. And then usually they book the car for you. And I didn't even have a car booked.
Oh,
And I said I remember to the
wow.
manager at the time, I was like, her name was Susie too, actually, funny enough. And I'm like, Susie, where's my car confirmation? Like, I don't have transportation. And she was like, oh, no, you're done. Like, you're done. You can take a cab or whatever. And I was like, listen.
Wow.
I'm like, book me a car.
Did you really say that?
Oh, yes.
And did you get a car?
I did get a car.
Look at her. I like that. I like that.
They weren't going to throw me out into the streets of Los Angeles like that.
Okay, I like that a lot. Okay,
So I
good
kind
for you.
but it's literally like that. Like the next day, you're on your own. You start your life and your new life.
Tell me what day one was like as
Yeah.
not Miss America. Tell me what it was like in 2004 for you.
It was awesome. I mean, right after that, my new agents at William Morris, they hooked me up with a coach out here. I started acting coaching like right away. And they set me on, I'll never forget when they set me, I think I booked like the first 2 of my first 5 auditions that they set me on, which was great.
Nice.
Some sitcom work that I did. And,
Your first gig, which was my favorite gigs that I've booked, were My Wife and Kids.
Yeah.
Did you book that? Did they knew that you were Miss USA?
I don't know, like casting?
Yeah, I was just curious because it was your very first credit. I just didn't know if that played a factor in helping.
I don't know. I mean, I auditioned for it,
Okay.
and that was fun to be, spend a week at CBS Bradford
It's
shooting
awesome.
that. with
I
the
love
Wayans
it.
brothers. And the Wayans brothers were so cool.
The best.
They're really cool to work with. So that was fun and nerve-wracking, but I don't know if they knew that I was Miss USA.
Okay, I just didn't know if like it was written into the show, like there was a Okay,
No.
all right.
I played like Sharon, somebody who went to high school, because they were at a high school reunion, the episode that I was on. So my character went to graduated high school with both of the main characters.
I know
Which is
that episode
Tisha
you speak.
Campbell
Yes,
and
yes,
Damon Wayans characters.
yes.
Yeah.
I know the episode that you speak of. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, so you do that.
Yeah.
When do you start getting hooked up with MTV?
So later that year, I started, like I said, acting, and then my agent called me one day and he was like, hey, we sent your tape and your stuff to MTV because they're looking for new talent, and they want to meet you. Do you want to take the meeting? And I said, yeah, I want to take the meeting. I said, it's not acting. It was, the opportunity was to be a host, a VJ on TRL.
VJ.
That's right, video.
I miss VJs.
Yeah, they're kind of we're extinct.
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
It's an extinct job.
Yeah.
But I grew up watching, like everybody, grew up watching MTV in the morning, getting ready before school and stuff. So I said, hell yes, I will take the meeting. I took the meeting, and that led to another meeting, and then that led to them putting me on tape out here, and then that led to the executives seeing the tape in New York, and then they flew me out, and they did a screen test.
How do they do a screen test? Is it you go to the studio when they're not using it?
Yep.
And they just throw you some words to say? What is that?
They gave me a scenario, and I actually had to write my own material.
Really?
And memorize it, and they put me on the TRL set right after when they were done.
Yeah.
They kept like the camera crew there, and I did my thing. And like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months later, they offered me a job.
And how long did you work for MTV?
2.5 years.
Was it a fun 2.5 years?
It was amazing.
Was it everything like?
It was so cool.
Well, like, what was the coolest thing about it? Because you get to hang out with these famous people that's coming inside the studio to interview?
To promote the whatever film or new album, new videos. We'd premiere new videos. I got to travel a ton. Went to London to like interview Shakira, and like my first interview ever was J-Lo. I met Tom Cruise. To this day is like one of my favorite people that I've ever interviewed.
And I hear that he gives great interviews. Like he was totally into you, right?
He's so connected with everybody. Not just the
I
person
hear
he's
this.
talking to.
I hear this all the time.
I'll never forget. And people, the Scientology thing is like all weird and stuff. But I always tell people, I'm like, regardless of that stuff, like as soon as he walked into the studio, he shakes hands with everybody, lighting, camera, the guy holding the cue card, our writers. And I remember when I first met him, I was like, "Hi, I'm Susie," and he says, "Pleasure to meet you. I'm Tom," and I'm like
you don't know who he is.
Like you don't know who he is, and it's so cool that he does that.
Yeah.
He's a really nice dude, like super nice.
I'll say it again. I have never heard one bad story about Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
Not one.
Yeah, he's an exceptional human being.
Yeah. Okay. When do you meet Matt through all of this? Matt. Hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
When do you meet him? Matt's my great neighbor who's also an awesome writer. Let's share about him a little bit.
Yeah.
He wrote, I want to say he wrote a lot on...
On what?
I don't know if I'm supposed to say.
You can say it.
That the movie...
Straight Outta Compton.
Straight Outta Compton.
Yeah, he worked, he was the assistant to one of the producers, and they were kind of in a bind, and needed somebody to do a rewrite, and my husband, he's a writer as well. At the time, he wasn't doing it professionally, but he kind of stepped up and said, "Hey guys, let me take a crack at it. Let me help you out. Let me do more than what I'm doing." And they were like, "All right," and they helped him, and he worked very closely with,
Okay.
with the producers and the writers.
He'll never
Or
admit
not the
to
writers, sorry, but the producers.
He'll never admit to any of this because I asked him to, and he said he wouldn't. But how much do you think he wrote of that script, Straight Outta Compton?
How much did he write?
Yeah.
I mean, he helped rewrite the entire thing.
Okay.
Along with Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, and the producers and the director.
I'm bringing all of that up to say he doesn't even get a credit,
No, he doesn't.
which bums me out.
I know.
Because he deserved.
I cried.
I bet.
I cried when they were not, because I said to Matt, "Can you imagine if they get nominated for an Oscar and like you're not like credit, like he's credited as an assistant?" It's kind of a fun little like Hollywood story that he has, that one day he'll like, he laughs about it now, but the only Oscar nomination that the film got was Best Screenplay. And
That's not right, guys. That's not right.
It's amazing. I cried that day because it was just, I saw how much work. I mean, I didn't see him for like an entire month, and he was like, helping to rewrite.
Matt, I know the truth.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope he doesn't get him in trouble, but I'm
No.
sure.
No. Okay. Anyway, Clint,
But he also legitimately and got credit for co-writing and producing Summer of '84.
Summer of '84, yes.
Which is, people can watch it right now on, I'm forgetting, the streaming service
iTunes?
for horror
Is
films.
I know what it is.
Dang it, why am I forgetting?
It's going to come back to us.
I'm so
link.
sorry.
I'll put the link on the bottom of the YouTube video.
I'm a terrible wife.
Okay, let's get back. So you're Matt.
Shutter. Sorry, Shutter. It's called Shutter.
Shutter.
Yes.
You meet Matt before all of this?
I did. Yeah, Matt and I had been dating. We started dating he was 19, I was 20. This was like before we graduated from college. We met in college. Yeah, so he was there like throughout the whole Miss USA thing.
Do you ever hear Matt telling other people, "Hey, I'm married to Miss USA. What do you got?" Like this, does he say that a lot?
He does not, but his friends from high school tell me this story that when he was very picky as to who he would date when he was in high school, and his buddies used to make fun of him and be like, "You're not going to be happy until you're dating a Miss America or something." And this was when they were in high school. So now whenever we see his friends, or after I won Miss USA, and they still like bust his chops about it, they're like, "All right, Matt, then what can we say?
He won.
Married Miss USA."
Yeah, Matt won.
Matt won.
Okay, let's talk about, so you do MTV for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
That's in New York.
Yeah, in New York. So I moved here from New York, was here for like a year, got offered the job in New York, and then went back to New York.
Okay, so you're back in New York. The MTV comes to an end.
Yeah.
What happens after that? Do you come back here?
Mm-hmm. I couldn't wait to get back here.
Really?
Oh my gosh, yes.
And you and Matt moved back here. What did you do when you got back here? Because now it's another new start.
It is, yeah. And my focus was the same as after I won Miss USA. Like before MTV, I just, it was all about acting. And so I kind of went back into acting, back into class. I was like taking acting, I was in 3 different classes. I was in an auditioning technique class. I was at improv with the Groundlings. That was a lot of fun. And then I also did like scene studies. So I was trying to kind of cover all my bases.
Yeah.
And then auditioning. I just started auditioning again.
Okay, so now that you got Miss USA out of the way, what's not that was your main goal, but now what is the main thing that you want? What do you want?
To be an actor. Yeah.
But just to be an actor, like if they go, okay, what do you want?
Yeah.
That's going to be it, just acting. Is there something you want to achieve as an actor?
I just want to be a working actor.
Okay.
People are always like, are you trying to be famous? I'm like, no, I don't want to be famous. That's not ever what I was after. I just wanted to have a career in this field. And it's funny. I've done acting over the years, like in between hosting stuff. I've been very lucky that MTV kind of it was such a huge platform.
How many different shows did you have at MTV? Was it just the TR?
No, I hosted.
I feel like it was a few.
I hosted a few, yeah. I think I hosted like 3 or 4 shows consistently. And then I also did specials. I hosted specials for them, the Real World reunion specials. And they had those challenges. I would host those as well. Those were fun. They got a little rowdy with those Real World kids.
Yeah, they did. They sure did.
But those were a lot of fun. And there was an upside and a downside to being at MTV. The upside was, of course, being at MTV, right?
Yeah.
And then also one of the big sponsors at MTV was Neutrogena, and I met the president of like Neutrogena, like Global or whatever, at like the movie awards. One time, like in the green room of the movie awards one year, and we were just chatting, and his daughters were there, and after about 15 minutes, he was like, you should meet our ad agency in New York, like. I really like you, and I was like, yes, sir. Yeah, I should meet your ad agency. That's a fantastic idea. I was immediately on the phone with my agent, and I was like, listen, this is the next meeting, and they set me up with a meeting, and I was a Neutrogena spokesperson.
Are you serious?
For like 5 years, so it's like so cool. And then after MTV, I continued to like book hosting jobs. Like people would just offer me hosting jobs, which was great. And I love talking to people and like interacting. I was that kid I was always in detention when I was a kid.
You did?
For talking. I would talk in class. I was so bored in school. And I would get detention all the time. And I remember when I got my first MTV job, I was like, Mom, they're paying me to talk. This is the best job for me. And yeah, she was super proud and stuff. But it was just hard because making the transition from a host to an actor, once you've been on something like MTV, people were like, oh, she's a host. She's not an actor, she's a host. And it's like, well, no, I started acting before I started hosting.
So did you kind of start getting a chip on your shoulder about the host word?
Not right away. Once I started to see that people just kept booking me as a host, and the acting opportunities weren't coming in as abundantly. That was a little hard because the hosting thing was paying the bills, so I was very grateful for it. But I've always called it my waitressing job. Yeah. It's a great waitressing job to have.
A great one, yes. And they fly you because I think because you still do it every once in a while.
I do,
right?
yeah.
And you go up to San Francisco a lot?
I go to San Francisco a lot and New York, but mostly San Francisco and the show that I'm hosting is called Cultural Capital. It's on Facebook Watch if y'all want to watch.
Yeah, do it, yeah.
It's fun.
Okay, really quick.
Yeah.
Worst times that you've had pursuing?
Oh boy, worst times.
If you don't have any, that's fine.
No, I do. I mean, I think like every person who's talent in this industry, I mean, we've all the struggle is real.
Yeah,
no matter where you are, I feel like, unless you're like A-list, right?
They have struggles too.
And they have struggles too. But I continue. It's been over 10 years of being in this industry, and you think it's gonna get easier, and you think, especially after like being on MTV, I actually definitely thought that like I would be booking more roles as an actor, and it would help the career as an actress. And it really
Hey, I miss
didn't.
USA.
I know. And it didn't. So it was like, I'm still like, audition. I have an audition this afternoon after this, so it's a constant struggle. And of course, as you get older, you're like, you keep hearing these, people talk about ageism and that being a real thing in Hollywood, even though nobody really will admit to it.
Exactly.
So I've definitely seen the number of roles that I go out for dwindle. So that's been really hard. It's been really difficult. Yeah. So I'm out there hustling.
Well, hey, that's what you have to do, and thank God that you're still doing it.
Yeah.
Okay, the best of times?
Yeah.
Which one was that?
Man, the best of times is like truly feeling like I'm living my childhood dream. When I was a kid, I wanted nothing more. I started acting and like doing some modeling stuff when I was 14. And the modeling thing happened because in Boston at the time, now there's a lot more work for actors in Boston, but when I was growing up, there was it's like PSAs, and little commercials and stuff like that. So the modeling thing happened, as a way to kind of sneak my way into the industry. But as a kid, all I wanted to do was live out here and work on television and
you're
films.
doing that right now.
And I'm doing that, yeah. So I really can't complain. I just that's the best feeling to have right now, is that I kind of, when I was in my early 20s, was like, how am I going to get from Boston to Los Angeles? And I tested out this pageant thing.
And you got here.
And it worked.
And seriously.
And here I am.
And that's great.
Yeah.
I'm really proud to have my hat off to you, Susie.
Clint.
That's really great. Okay, I guess we're going to start winding down. This is it.
This is it. The final countdown.
Anything else that you want to tell that girl out there who may be watching, who's 15, 16, trying to figure out what she wants to do? She wants to be an actress. Would you recommend it?
Sure. Why not? I highly recommend it. I mean, I think whatever young people want to do, it's what they should 100% pursue and give it their all and try and look at it. I mean, look, I got here in a very unconventional way. So look at all of your options, explore all of those options. If it doesn't happen one way, don't think that you failed and you can't try it a different way, and just keep at it. I think that's the most important part, is like not to give up. But also, I say that, and I have my degree, like I said, in interior architecture and design, because I wanted a plan B, just in case.
Right.
Just in case it didn't happen, I wanted to have that security blanket, and that's why I did it.
Is Plan B still a security blanket, or is that totally gone?
Sure, you never know.
You never know.
I have friends and family members even who are 45 years old, 47. They were like, I'm kind of tired of this career. I want to switch careers. Maybe that'll happen to me. Who knows? Maybe I'll get sick of the hustle and change and be like, you know what? I'm going to go work at an architectural firm as an interior designer. Yeah. Who knows? I have a degree. I have that option.
Susie, I'm not worried about you one bit.
Thank you,
know
Clint.
You're always going forward and straight up. All right, Susie, do me a favor.
Yes.
Tell everybody bye for me.
Ciao.